Madara notices the demonic statue undergoing a premature transformation into the Ten Tails and scolds Obito for being too hasty. After Obito returns Madara's gunbai, Madara creates a wood dragon in an attempt to capture Naruto and Killer Bee and complete the Ten Tails. He at one point manages to restrain and drain Bee of his energy, but is overwhelmed by Guy's daytime tiger. The Ten Tails is revived before he can recover, forcing Madara to make do. He and Obito leap onto the Ten Tails' head and connect themselves to it, granting them control of its actions. Their four opponents put up a resistance but are no match for the Ten Tails' power. However, before the Ten Tails can finish them off, the combined allied shinobi forces arrive to join the fight, deflecting the Ten Tails' attack. The allies join forces to immobilize the Ten Tails, making it an easy target. The Ten Tails undergoes a new transformation before their attacks can connect, freeing it and letting it block the incoming attacks. Though the immediate problem is solved, Madara realizes there's another issue. The allies are being coordinated too effectively. He and Obito direct the Ten Tails to attack the distant allied HQ, something that takes several tailed beast balls due to their lack of control, which Madara attributes to Obito's failure to revive him correctly. Yeah, Obito, you failure. Although the allies' quote-unquote brain is killed, the allies are given one final battle plan in the time it takes the Ten Tails to hit its target. Obito and Madara try to thin the allies' numbers before they can get into position and, when that fails, block against the oncoming attack, but the combined forces manage to break through and separate Obito and Madara from the Ten Tails. With the Ten Tails now out of their control, they must fight the alliance directly. Obito eventually disappears to the other dimension, forcing Madara to fend for himself. During Obito's absence, Madara senses that Hashirama has elsewhere been brought back to life. Excited at the prospect of fighting his rival again, Madara eagerly awaits his rival. When Hashirama eventually arrives, Hashirama sends only a wood clone to face him, being too busy restraining the Ten Tails. Yo, I love how Hashirama's like, you're not worth my time, here's a sculpture of myself to fight against. You know how like pissed Madara must have been? Oh my god. Madara decides to sit out of the fight until the real Hashirama is ready. When the wood clone persists, Madara easily defeats it. He later senses Obito's return to the battlefield and decides to make use of one of his failsafes, activating black receivers planted in Obito to force him to finally revive Madara. Obito resists, and instead seals the Ten Tails into himself. Though he's frustrated by this setback, Hashirama is no longer preoccupied, so Madara forces him into a fight. As their battle rages, Hashirama tries to convince Madara to postpone, but Madara repeatedly refuses. Nevertheless, he keeps track of Obito's progress and growing control of the Ten Tails' power. After Obito's defeat, Madara is restrained by Hashirama's wood dragons and the alliance moves in to seal him. With Obito no longer the Ten Tails' Jinchuriki, Madara puts another failsafe into effect, Black Zetsu. Having been in contact with it since his initial reincarnation, Madara orders Black Zetsu to take control of Obito's body and use the Outer Path Samsara of Heavenly Life technique. Restored to life, Madara is able to make use of his modified body's full power, to which he breaks free of his restraints. Having died with his real eyes intact and removed from his body, Madara's reincarnated eyes crumble to nothing. Sasuke attempts to burn Madara with Amaterasu, while Naruto reminds Sasuke that Madara can absorb ninjutsu. Madara, however, had to discard his armor that was burnt by the flames. To compensate for his blindness, he immobilizes Hashirama with black receivers and absorbs his senjutsu chakra, enhancing his sensory skills enough to perceive his enemies and their attacks without the need of sight. He is once again attacked by Sasuke, but instructs Sasuke to stay out of his way since he doesn't want to kill his own clansmen. Madara goes after the freed tail beast so that he can revive the Ten Tails once more. He attempts to take on all 9 at once, failing and losing his right arm in the process. While he regroups, a white Zetsu clone brings him one of the Rinnegan that Obito kept in storage. Madara takes this and one of the Zetsu's arms, allowing him to start round 2. He summons the demonic statue from Obito's body and uses Limbo, border jail, to repel the 9 beasts. Before they can recover, he seals all of them into the demonic statue, including those sealed in Naruto and Bee. While the statue undergoes its transformation into the Ten Tails again, Madara asks the Zetsu clone how Black Zetsu is faring with taking his remaining Rinnegan back from Obito. Tobirama Senju, having been reincarnated alongside Hashirama, attacks Madara immediately afterwards, but is restrained after failing to deal any damage. Sasuke also attacks Madara, but is immobilized in mid-air. Having already warned Sasuke once, Madara turns Sasuke's own sword against him and stabs him in the chest. With nobody left to oppose him, Madara seals the Ten Tails into himself once the resurrection is complete. Pleased with himself, Madara sets off to regain his other Rinnegan. Along the way, he spits out the Benihisago and